Alright guys, here we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So, if you guys want to learn how to one-shot on a fire mage like that during the pre-patch, make sure to keep watching this video. So there's a couple things we need to talk about first before we get into how to pull off the one-shot. First of all, let's go ahead and look at the build that we have going here. So there's going to be a couple crucial talents, one of them being Lit Fuse. Consuming Hot Streak has a 15% chance to grant you Lit Fuse. And basically what Lit Fuse is that your next Fire Blast will turn 3 targets into a living bomb. Now, for the next part, we have Meteor. But you guys might be wondering how Meteor plays a role in this one shot. It's not necessarily for the Meteor damage itself, it's for the talent under the Meteor, Deep Impact. Meteor now turns one target hit into a living bomb. So that living bomb is going to be crucial for the one shot. So let's go over global for global how to pull off this one shot. So let's go ahead and watch. You can see at first we'll be watching this GCD tracker here. We press a Fire Blast into a Meteor into a Combustion. So the reason for this is that we have this talent called Spontaneous Combustion. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it's going to refresh all of our Fire Blast charges and Phoenix Flames charges whenever we press Combustion. So the order of this is crucial. We Fire Blast to get the Lit Fuse onto the target. We press Meteor. As the Meteor is falling, we press Combustion to reset all of our Fire Blast charges. Then from there, we Fire Blast again, which puts another Lit Fuse onto the target. Due to this talent here, casting Combustion grants Lit Fuse, and Living Bomb's damage is increased by 50% under the effects of Combustion. Then we go ahead and right after our Combustion, we pop Fire Blast into Flame Strike, into Fire Blast, into Flame Strike, and you can see here we're peaking at almost 3 million DPS. Even pulling off this amount of DPS on Beta, which is at level 80 with hero talents, is something that's very difficult. So this damage from this rotation is absurd and will one-shot basically anything in the game as long as there is more than 3 targets stacked. I've found that having at least 3 targets stacked is almost a guaranteed one-shot as long as something is not pressing a defensive, but it's very hard to respond to this damage considering how fast it is. So if we watch the damage back again, you'll see how quickly things go down. So we Fire Blast, we Meteor, we Combustion, we Fire Blast, we Flame Strike, we Fire Blast, we Flame Strike, and at this point we're already at 3 million DPS and it's been about 2 globals. So it's very difficult to react to this. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to actually set up the one-shot. You saw the rotation of how to do the one-shot, but there's a couple things you have to think about before you rip the go. The first thing is fishing for your first Lit Fuse proc. So, like I was saying with the Spontaneous Combustion, casting Combustion will refresh 3 of your Fire Blast charges and 3 of your Phoenix Flames charges. Now, that means that before you combust, you can spend all of these charges to try to fish for your first Lit Fuse. You get Lit Fuse by consuming Hot Streak. So you'll get a proc here with Phoenix Flames into Fire Blast. Then you'll go ahead and press Flame Strike. You can see we actually got one on the first try. Let's go ahead and see a situation where we don't. So you'll just keep doing that. You're still fishing for that Lit Fuse. You're just trying to get Hot Streaks any way that you can. You're fishing for procs. Still trying to get the Lit Fuse proc here by spending any Hot Streak that you can. There we go. We eventually got it. Now, this is when you would do the Fire Blast into Meteor, into Combustion, into Fire Blast, into Flame Strike, into Fire Blast, into Flame Strike, into Fire Blast, into Flame Strike. Now, that's going to be how you set up the one-shot. You can see on details I wasn't PvP tag, so I didn't get the increased damage on Living Bomb. That's why the DPS is low on the details. But that's the one shot. That's how you want to set it up. It's relatively simple. The only thing is with this build, it sort of revolves around that one shot. So now that you don't have it, your combustion is on cooldown, you basically just want to fish for like little mini goes of that. So now at this point, we're still just going to fish for that lit fuse proc. We could put a ring of fire down if we really wanted to. Since we're not getting one and we're almost exhausted on charges, we'll just throw down the meteor and shifting power. And then, like I said, we're just going through all of our instant casts that we have. We have a lit fuse there, so we can send a little mini go. And you're just going to do that same rotation of fishing for the lit fuse. Once you get it, you fire blast into flame strike. And then if you have the meteor off cooldown as well, that is going to set up for a decent burst window even without combustion. And then you can see once you have your combustion back, then you can set up for it again. Now, there is a situation where sometimes people are stacked and you don't have a lit fuse. Like in this example right here, I have no way to generate one and everyone is stacked. So I kind of really want to go right now. There is a merit in just sending it without the lit fuse and just doing a double fire blast flame strike. It is a lot less damage. It's not guaranteed to one shot like the other version, but let's just say that instead of it taking maybe 1 or 2 globals to kill someone, it might take 3. But in some situations, you know, you can't sit there and fish for the absolute perfect window every single time that you play this spec. Keep in mind your combustion has a pretty low cooldown considering that you can farm it back through various sources in the tree there, like with kindling, for example, and shifting power. So just as a little thought, don't try to overfish for the best scenario. You know, sometimes you'll be sitting there the whole game holding on to combustion when if you would have just ripped a normal one without the perfect setup, it would have been decent anyways, you know. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Check me out on Twitch, ttv/Aeghis. Guys, we're almost at the Fire Mage sub goal. Make sure to hit that. Visit the stream. We're kind of close, so trying to hit that as soon as we can. But anyways, appreciate the video, or appreciate you guys watching the video, and peace out. Good luck out there.